I'm going to show you how to attach and use a walking foot. Walking feet are used definitely by quilters, but also for us sewers when we're sewing slippery or tricky fabric. So before we can use our walking foot, we need to take the regular sewing foot off. And the way that you do that is by undoing the nut on the side. Maybe put a piece of paper underneath, because I don't know how big your screw nut thing is. Now be attentive to the way round for releasing and tightening. So to release my screw, I turn it away, and to tighten my screw, I turn it towards me. Now I know that might seem obvious, but when you're in the thick of putting on your sewing foot, you might forget and get frustrated. So loosen the screw. Eventually your foot will just drop down. So take that foot away. Now before we start attaching the walking foot, I just want to show you a couple of things. So this is the shank. Well, I believe they call it a shank. And there's a hole. I don't want to get in the frame. There's like a hole there, which is where you screw your screw through. Now on the walking foot, where that goes is this bar grabs onto it. So it will go down in that area there. And then the screw goes in here. The other important bit is this here, this arm. Now as you put it onto the shank, you need to get that arm on here. Now I'm going to turn the wheel to make it go down. So look, so it's going to go onto there. So that bar there, we need that to go onto there, because as that goes up and down, this goes up and down, you see. But we also need to get this thing here onto there. So let's do that. So arm on the bar first, then get that in position, then drop it to make sure you've got everything in place. Now what I sometimes do, because I don't think you're going to be able to see this, but this isn't perfectly aligned always, because this is a generic walking foot. So I have to lift up, lift up the lever that lifts the foot a little bit to make it aligned. So what I was finding was sometimes it's easier to put the screw in a little bit first and then slot it on. So can you see that? I've put the screw in a little bit first, and then I'm going to do what we just did, which was put that arm at the top, and if I just loosen it a little bit, then I can get it on. Now remember which way you have to turn the screw, and then make sure it's tight. Drop the foot. Lift the foot. Let's look at the front. Can you see the arm? How it's attached onto here? See that there? So that when you sew and this goes up and down, it makes the dog feed on the foot push and move along. Right, let's show you it in action. So, watch this arm go up and down. See, even though it looks like a big clunky foot, once you've got it on there, in fact, you may as well just leave it on there. It's fine, and I can still turn corners. And have a look at the stitch. Okay, so have a look at the stitch. And to remove it, you just do what we just did in reverse. But keep track of that screw. You don't want to lose the screw or the nut. Oh, you might want to go and have a look at how to use a ruffler foot, because that's quite interesting.